a function of c, isn't it? How do I get c as a function of f? I just solve for c. So that's a very, very basic idea that we're using over here. It's a little more complicated here because I got this separate relationship here, right?
Right.
But it's still, if I want a function of p, I want only p's to show up. If I want a function of x, I want only x's to show up. And that's the most I'm going to spend on that problem, because I originally assigned it just to see who could kind of tease out what that meant. I think I meant to throw it out because I didn't want to freak everything out. So if you didn't quite get that, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. That's kind of like a little beyond the basics. Yeah?
So what homework do we have to be up to by next Wednesday?
Well, by next Wednesday, the test, it depends on how we do today.
Okay.
So I'll tell you at the end of the day.
Ask lots of questions,
So we
everybody.
just asked a lot of questions in.
All right. So I'll have to curtail that. All right.
So today is question day, all right.
Jeff, when we get a pressure cooker?
Yeah, I've got it here. So I'll get it before you leave. All right. So I'm afraid to ask this now. Any other questions on the homework?
72, 5.1.
5.1?
Yeah, 72.
Oh, we did that one already.
Oh, we did?
That's easy.
Okay. Then in that case, just give me a hint. In that case, just give me a hint.
Go take a look at the video.
What number?
See me after.
Will do.
It was number, where'd it go?
72.
72 in section 5.1. Yeah, we looked at that one last time. It was if I have an even number of negative ones, all the negatives cancel. An odd number of negative ones, there's one negative left alive. We looked at that last time. Cool. Be real careful. 1 to the 4th. I see this sometimes. It doesn't make any sense, right? I'm not adding. I'm multiplying 1. So of course, it has to come out to be 1, yeah. Okay. So be careful about that.
So 1 to the 9th
Is 1. 1 to the 18 billionth power is 1.
If it's a negative, it's still negative 1.
Impress your friends who haven't made it this far.
So negative 1 to the
If
9th.
it's in the
Negative 1. Odd number of negatives. Yeah.
Can we do 05 and 27?
So, Jeff, if you have like a negative number, if it's...
So in that section, remember that I made the 3 variable ones extra credit. So like I said, in this section, those are extra credit also. So they require 3 variables as extra credit. So if you want to ask me about it, you can ask me after, yeah. All right, here we go. So last time, we made it through section 5.3. 5. No. We haven't done any factoring yet, I think.
We did FOIL last time.
We just started.
The tiniest bit.
Yeah, we just barely started.
So we finished 5.3, and that the first part of 5 is there's definitions, and I think we all got the idea of monomial, binomial. We all got the idea of degree, because we did several of those, right? Then we went into adding, subtracting polynomials, and that's an awesome place because it's just like terms then, right? So that should not be a big deal. It's like going back in time for a minute. Section 5.3 was all about basically FOIL method. We talked a little bit about why that method doesn't extend to harder problems. So we did a problem, well, I'm not going to do the same problem, but if I had this times this, how would you do that? Take the x, distribute it, take the 3b, distribute it, take the y, distribute it, and then put any like terms together, right? So FOIL doesn't work there. First and second, holy crap, no. I'm going to have a big old word for that. It's just distribution, right? Distribute, puts your stuff together that you can, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that actually takes you through, if I make it bigger, it works. And that catches us up to where we are now. So there's one last kind of problem before I get into factoring. How would you do this?
Oh, x plus 2.
2y plus x plus 2.
Yeah, so be careful. That is definitely not x cubed plus 8.
No.
Do you see where that would have come from?
Yeah.
Why doesn't this get to distribute through? Because exponents are based on multiplication, and this is addition.
Yeah.
So something cubed, like Esme said, something cubed is that thing times itself times one more of it. Right? So just
We
3 times.
multiply the first two,
I love it.
and the result.
So I
is the
always
first.
have somebody that tries to multiply all this at once. That's crazy.
Yeah.
What's 2 times 5 times 11? How would you do 2 times 5 times 11? What would you do? 2 times 5 is 10. 10 times 11. So we do the same thing. This number times that number is something. And then we multiply by that number. Right? It's the same thing. So what would I get here? I get
X squared, 4.
So it's a foil in the first part, yeah.
exactly binomial times binomial. You can think of it as FOIL. So 2x plus 2x is plus 4x. Is that cool?
Yeah.
I'm going to do that often. I'm going to put my like terms together as I
4.
go.
Plus 4.
Plus 4. And I still have to do this one, right?
Yeah.
So then I get
X
x cubed,
Yeah, 2x.
2x squared,
4x squared.
4x squared,
8x.
8x,
4x.
4x,
8.
8. That wasn't that bad, right?
Yeah.
Ujjama.
Be careful though. When I write cube, you got to write it 3 times. You got to do one step and then the second step. So then your like terms are actually next to each other. It's kind of nice. In fact, if you ever put the bigger guy in front of the smaller guy, if it's going to be like terms, they'll actually will line up next to each other. That's kind of nice. Okay. All right, so that section also, I feel comfortable saying, if you're in here, it should be easy section. FOIL method, all that kind of stuff should be relatively straightforward, yeah.
Isn't there like a way if you say you had x plus 2 squared plus 3 plus y plus 7 squared, is there a way that you can do, like change that up and make it all go together or something
Jeff?
like that?
You might be thinking ahead to like that's almost the difference of squares thing. I don't know if you're thinking ahead to that.
Probably.
Okay, so hold on. I think that's what you're thinking about. We're not there yet. All right.
Just next Wednesday, huh?
Yes.
So when's the
5-4
test,
Monday.
maybe?
Yeah,
again?
just to tell you
Is the
what that.
test coming up again?
Next
What'd you
Wednesday.
just say, Yasmin?
Wednesday.
Ah,
Because I will be on Arizona.
Next week.
that's right. That's right.
2 weeks.
Okay. It was originally scheduled for Monday. Last time I moved it back
Okay.
to Wednesday. Yeah. So I've got the practice test. So be sure you don't sneak out the door without getting one of those. So last time we did do a little bit of factoring. We did actually made it, now that I think about it, we made it decently far through GCF. Right?
Yeah, we did greatest common factor. It's around section 5.5 now.
And so just to remind us what this was, how would I do? Yeah.
2x 8.
Be careful now. So I agree with the 2. 2 is the biggest number that comes out of everything, right?
2.
4 wants to be it, but then this guy throws that off. So a 2.
2x.
Do they all have an X?
No.
So you can't take any X's.
They have A's.
X squared.
A's. A squared.
2x squared.
All right, so just to make sure everybody's got the idea. You can only take out what everybody's got, and you can only take out
What
The
all
least-
go into, yeah.
exponent then, right? Because I can't take 3 A's. Why?
Because it's only
Because there's only 2
The
A's.
last dude only has 2.
So you're gonna take it 2
And I
A's
can't
out.
take out a single X because the last dude doesn't have any. Poor little dude. So what do I get left with here?
2x
2x squared
A.
Yeah, I had 3 A's, took 2 of them, so I got 1 left.
minus
Minus
6.
6.
6, I had 1 S, it's still there. I had 5 A's,
third.
so I got 3 left.
15.
15, I had 2 A's and I took them.
That's it.
Do you see how you can talk to yourself as you do this? I got this, I took that, this is left. I got this, I took that, this is left. Exactly how it works. Be real careful. What operation am I doing as I take that out? Why was it 6? Because 12
Times.
Division.
divided by 2 is 6. Okay. No, Jeff, it's only 2 up there. So that, what I just said, probably has something to do with what I'm about to do. Right? That's how I sort of seem to operate.
Okay.
Okay. Pat says, yeah, sure, Jeff. So 25 y cubed b is 5y. This looks easy, but it's got one little thing where people trip up on it.
I take a 5 on this.
I love it, right? Because the smallest power c on the y is 1, smallest power c on the b is 1.
5y squared.
Times
Y to the
five.
second.
Good. Y squared, I had 3, took 1. I had only 1 b and I took it. And I always see this,
No, minus one.
because people say, I took that whole thing out, Jeff. But remember, what I just say, we're dividing it out. So what is this divided by itself?
1.
1. Another way to look at it is, if that wasn't there, when I multiply this in, do I get the same thing?
No.
How do I get this guy?
Y.
Yeah, minus one.
Placeholder. You can think of it as a placeholder for that guy, right? Either way you look at it, it's got to be there.
Because what you can do to check it is go, it is
And multiply it back
distributed.
out.
Yeah, because you're gonna leave a 0 there. It's
So
gonna
how do
be
you
zero.
always check when you factor something? You multiply it back out and see if you get the same thing.
You go in reverse, basically.
Yes. Okay. So let's get to more interesting area here. So remind me now, how does this here work? Eventually, yeah.
Okay.
Now be real careful. Pay attention to the instructions. My instructions to this are kind of implicit, but obviously the instructions would be factor. Factoring is the opposite of simplify.
Well,
If this said simplify, I would multiply through, try to get like terms together.
Yeah.
But this would say factor, which normally means you never multiply, because you want to do the opposite of multiplication, right?
I know, if you cancel the, you only
A
get one
plus
A
B.
plus B.
Yeah, so what can come out of both of these?
I
A plus
like the
B.
between.
Beautiful. Real quick, does anybody have an A? No. This guy has an M, that guy has a 3, this guy has an A plus B, that guy has an A plus B.
They're
Neither one of them has an A or a B alone. They have an A plus B. That's one thing. So what comes out?
5 I and minus 3.
A plus B comes out,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you're left with 5M
5m minus 3.
minus 3.
Minus,
Okay.
that's it.
it's the other way around.
So with factoring, you never distribute.
Okay.
Yeah, you're undistributing really.
Okay.
That's one form of factoring. So here's the ultimate level here. If I have something like this here, now this is where it gets interesting. I want to make something that works.
Where's the final
That
ball?
would be nice, Jeff. Let's see.
I know.
Now, we factoring this, right?
We factor by 2, do by 2, what do you call it?
Grouping.
By grouping.
Yeah.
Make it
do
to
a
grouping.
Yeah.
No, because
Why did I put that A in there? Take that A out of there.
Yay.
Sorry.
You can still
That's
It's always interesting trying to do it.
We put the things about 10.
Now listen. You guys have done grouping before.
Yeah.
Do not put parentheses in, trust me. They will screw you up if there's a minus here.
Okay.
What I always do is, how do I know it's going to be a grouping problem? Because there are 4 terms.
Right.
We know there's 4 or more terms, and this is one of the things that are on that little handout I gave you. You try grouping.
Yeah.
So I was just saying, I group these together, group those together.
Okay.
What comes out of these two?
You can have 5A, yeah.
Let's see if I did this.
2, 2 by 2,
2,
minus 1,
Minus 1, cool, based on what we just said earlier.
Plus.
plus.
What comes out of these two?
7y.
Careful.
7y.
7,
Y.
and a y comes out.
Then you have 2 squared.
2y squared.
Minus 1.
Minus 1.
And then you have the 5A.